See here, we got Austin Scott coming up here.
Get my camera working. Brandon, my guy.
Yeah, Austin, man, what is going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. I'm just coming back from Washington, D.C., man. So
Oh yeah.
we're here. We're here. I went to Washington for a little break, a little business break. Had to go take some pictures up there for a convention going on. So
Okay.
I've been ripping and running. Last week, I told you I was going to be in Dallas. Well, I
Yeah.
was going to be in Dallas, but I was out of town. So, but we here. So,
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Hold on a second. Welcome to the Buckle Up Podcast universe with Brandon Rush. My mom's not on here today. She'll be just me. But
okay.
Austin, man, first off, congratulations on you just graduated USC, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I'm
Alumni now,
talking about. We're the
man.
Gamecocks, both of us.
Alumni. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Dude, what did you do? Congratulations, man. Welcome to the
Appreciate it.
alumni,
Appreciate
man.
it. Yes, sir.
What did you study while you're there?
So I was in business finance.
Oh
I
wow.
got more. I initially wanted to do entrepreneurial, but I guess God had other plans. So we went to business finance, minored in social media marketing. So that's where we took up from there. Photography was able to, thrive in that, and just other marketing jobs opened up too. So we're here. Finished
Okay.
4 years, all done, man. I'm
Heck
glad.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm proud of you, man. It's crazy because literally when I was in college, you were still like a kid at the time.
Yeah, I was probably like what, maybe 10?
No, you were. Were you even 10? You probably were. You're probably like 9 or 8, 9, or 10, I think. Because Sister Scott, who your grandma, who I loved, who helped raise me too.
Yes, sir.
We'd always have those dinners at her house on
Right.
Wednesdays.
Yep. Yep.
So, man, that's it's crazy to
Fun,
think of
man.
us all being there, man, and
Yeah.
how time flies.
Yep. Yep. You and your granddad, your dad, Paul
Yeah,
Smith. Like it was just that was family, bro. That
it,
was
it really was, man. It
so
really was. Wait,
yeah.
so look, I see you doing this. Your photography is absolutely amazing. Like you have an
Appreciate it.
eye for the lens, man. How did
Yes,
you
sir.
get
Yes.
involved with that, Austin?
So I'll say, my granddad, Bishop Jenkins,
Yeah,
he used to be a photographer.
he
So
was.
yep. So everybody who had like going through church, like they always knew like he was the go-to guy for anything. And he at a young age, actually crazy enough, this was the first camera he gave. Oh, dang, it's blurred. But this was the first
Oh,
camera he
nice.
gave me when I was a kid. So
Yeah,
just always loved doing it. So I was like, you know what? Let me go take that. And then, as you know, my grandmother, she was a daycare center owner.
yeah,
So like her entrepreneurial and business side, like I always was around her while she was doing payroll, talking to, the employees on the phone.
yeah.
But like that like kind of pushed me to like actually take it to a business side. So
Okay.
that's how we got started. And being in college, you see a lot of things, a lot of events that you can go shoot, a lot of people that you get to meet. So that's definitely where, you get that drive and that passion from. So
Yeah, man. I do. That is so. I mean, it's crazy how that worked out. Like I always say that it's kids are always watching. I
oh
always
yeah.
tell people that kids are always watching. So for one, I remember Bishop Jenkins taking all the photos. I remember when
Yeah.
he'd take all those photos from the time I was a kid all the way to being an adult. I remember
Yep.
taking all those photos, and then Sister Scott. I remember with the action mailers.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had the
You
daycare,
remember.
and
That's
she,
good, man. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So
yeah,
yep,
she had
that's where
both
we got
those.
it from. So she had a lot of business that she had her hand in, and it's always good to see even people around you like kind of push and support you with that. So
Absolutely. She with her being an entrepreneur and all that with the action mailers and the daycare, one of my best friends, his son's autistic.
really,
And one of the centers that he gets I guess trained at for his autism trying to like fix it is where action mailers used to be.
wow. Now,
Yeah.
oh yeah, because we just sold it. So that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so that's the whole entire center for that building right there is now a center for training autistic kids with the autism how to be
Really,
able to function. Yeah.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
I didn't know it either until I went on a ride along actually one day because I was doing a documentary on my on his son,
All right.
and we stopped at that location. I'm like, wait a minute, you got to be kidding me! I was like, Sister Scott used to own action mailers that was right here.
That's crazy, man. That's
Yeah,
I did not know they were using that for, but that's a full circle moment though.
it really is.
And it's cool that you still remember that. That's
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. I used to drive past it all the time, and we go to see. I remember Sister Scott coming outside and saying hello because I
yeah.
spent a lot of time with her because she beat me in basketball one time, which is a funny story.
Yeah. Every
Yeah,
now and then she'll come out and she'll do her little jump shot, man.
Man, she had that. We played horse one time. I was at the church back when I would always spend time with my
Right.
granddad Smith at the
Yeah.
church, and Sister Scott would always come and play with me and all. And I remember one time she whipped me in basketball, and I went to my granddad. I was like, "Granddad, I can ask you a question. How old is Sister
Man.
Scott?"
I'm trying to tell you, hey, she'll show it. Bishop
Yeah.
too, he'll come out every now and then. He'll do a little jump shot every now and then. He'll go back inside and go
Oh,
eat
your
some
dad?
food. No, you're a granddad.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He wouldn't play like, for real. But like he'll come out there every now with because your granddad used to always be at my grandma's house. Like
Yeah.
the longest time period. Before I had a, sense of, understanding, I thought your granddad was my granddad
Yeah.
biologically because as much as
Yeah.
the house, but yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy.
It really is, man. So I'm gonna get back to you, Austin. So now you have your degree, you have your as I say, your photography business is amazing. I was looking at your shots. I'm like, wait, Austin's actually phenomenal at this.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
So are you using both? So you're basically using both those hand because you said you were in DC, and what were you shooting up in DC, and what were you shooting in Dallas? Kind of take me through that.
Well, so in Dallas, I was helping a friend move out, so
Okay.
that was like unrelated to like business. But for some odd reason, I don't know how, I'm just gonna say God.
Yeah.
There
Amen.
was a corporation who was flying out to DC, as well to help. What was like the actual? It's just like a corporation just doing a corporate event, and
Okay.
they reached out. They needed a photographer, so they're like, boom, boom, boom. Do you want to come, shoot? And I
Yeah.
also have a friend who lives in Washington, so I was
Oh,
like,
perfect. Crash on the couch.
yeah, this is perfect. But like, it's been a whole bunch of doors that have been opening up. Like a couple months ago, like I was able to do a corporate event. Don't know how for headshots for a company that had 600 members. Like,
Oh, wow.
and like I'm coming from small town Irmo.
Yeah.
It's like Irmo's not too small, but it's just like crazy full circle moment. I'm only 22 years old.
Yeah, you're young.
Yeah, it's just crazy to be able to see these things like happen like right in front of you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I say the same thing to you. I was just telling my younger brothers, like, Brandon, I remember you came to South Carolina one time, you telling us about like, the stuff that you're about to be a part of. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was something DC related.
Oh,
But
I've been auditioning for all that stuff. I haven't booked it yet, but it's been close. Yeah, it was something.
yeah,
I think
but
it might be DC or Marvel, one of the two.
I think they dropped the project. That's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, like seeing you even on Criminal Minds, seeing you in Power, like it's like this guy like used to be like with us all the time. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Oh,
So
thanks, brother.
you're doing
I
your
wish.
thing.
What's that?
So you're doing your thing. I'm
Oh,
proud.
you know what, Austin, man? I really put it on God because I was 22 at the time.
Right.
22, 20. Actually, yeah, I was 22 at the time. Still eating dinner at Sister Scott's house, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. I knew I was going into acting, but I was getting myself mentally prepared because I knew I was. I was going to church every Sunday to make sure that I knew I was going to need it to where I was going because LA
Right.
is a beast. It's like, whew, it's a lot. But I was basically mentally preparing myself for what I was going to do over there, just to kind of show people from the church, man, hey, you can still be a godly person, but you have to, maybe God might be sending you on a mission outside of there to do something.
Right.
So,
Right.
and you know how our church is.
Yeah.
I wanted to show that it could be done.
Right.
And
No,
so
for
that's
sure.
why I went after that. But yeah, wait, so as you said, Austin, it is God, man. I have to truly say that if not for my faith and if not for God, and being a good person too.
Right.
We come from that. We both come because we basically were raised at the same time. We come from that same background of just family, church, and just being a good person and being the service to the community.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. That's one thing that you had to do. Like you said, like a lot of things, even in church nowadays, they don't believe that you can go out all the time
Yeah,
and be in these environments. But like I feel like that's the most important part. So there are
absolutely,
people in those environments that need to see like the good light in you. That's how
absolutely.
the gospel can be spread. So you're doing your thing, man.
Yeah, man.
Doing
Austin.
your thing.
When I tell you full on that that's the reason I did it all, and that's the reason my dad was alive and my mom were behind it 100% because
That's
they knew what I was going to do and they knew what I was going to accomplish. So
right.
I'm just glad that if I can at least for people to see, I know a lot of people in the church are seeing because I get messages and I get every time I do go by the church, they always tell me, but it makes me feel good that they can see like, hey man, this is one of us
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
is in this church but is out in the world doing everything because I ministering to people I need to. And I said I always call myself a different kind of preacher, Austin,
Right.
because I'm out in the world doing what I'm supposed to do. I wasn't meant for the pulpit. I was meant to do
Right.
what God put me to, serve people outside of that.
Minister in whatever way needs for the people.
Yeah, and so it looks like you have your head on right, doing the same thing, man.
I'm
And,
trying.
and I see how your friends look up to you.
Yeah.
Like I look at you when I look at your photos and look at your stuff, I see how the support system you have around from your friends.
Yeah. So I'll definitely say like being in college, of course, I didn't do everything because I
Yeah,
had to try to stay. I was home, so I didn't do everything, and
yeah,
that was a good thing. Like that was like the backwards, like behind it. I was able to like keep myself from being in situations. Of course, we all fall short,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
like being able to be a light to other people and not being able to like I guess conform as well.
Yeah,
That's like one of my biggest things I went to college. Of course, like I said, we all fall short. We all do
yeah,
our due, but I feel like for me, one thing I did was join like these Christian communities, and I feel like it was definitely a plus just to be able to be seen as like, okay, this is a guy who's serious about his faith, but also can thrive in what he's doing.
yeah.
So yeah, man, all glory to God. That's all I can say. All glory to God, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll keep it. I'm gonna always keep it 100 with you, Austin. So I worked downtown
Right.
when I was in college. I worked in Five Points.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the place was called now, but at the time it was called Sharkies and Rafters. And guess what, brother? I used to see people from the church there all the time partying. So
Hey
there's
man.
nothing wrong with having fun
Hey man.
because you can't be. I said I'm Christian and I'm religious, but I'm not. I saw, as I said, there's nothing wrong with going out and having fun. You got to let loose. I've seen everybody, trust me,
Oh yeah, for sure.
everybody down
For
there
sure.
at the
For
bar
sure.
partying too.
For
So,
sure. You see a
uh,
lot. You see a
yeah,
lot.
I did. Actually, I got a funny story. It's going to make you laugh. I
Yeah.
saw one day my brother was visiting me and I was working, so I worked security at the bar. I was a bouncer.
Hmm.
And there was a kid that obviously he had too much. I'll say he had too much to drink. And he ended up getting handcuffed to this ambulance, right? I mean,
Handcuffs.
he got handcuffed to the thing and got taken away as a black kid, and he was like all fighting and stuff like that. I was in church the next day, progressive. My brother's with me. I turn around and I see the guy.
Hey man.
Yeah, I see the guy. And I
Hey,
turned to my brother. I'm like, Dave, oh my God, you're not going to believe this, man. It's the
he
dude
was
that we
just here
saw.
last night.
Yeah, that was in the bar who got handcuffed and put into the ambulance. I realized his mom was sitting right next to him. I realized he was scared of his mom.
So I guess
So
he was like, "Hey, don't say nothing, man. Don't say nothing."
yeah, no, he was scared. I think no, when he was like trying to fight to get out of the little ambulance thing, he was like, it's because I think he was scared of his mom.
Oh,
Like
nah, see,
what his mom was
that's the
gonna do.
higher power. That's always the higher power, man.
Yeah. So
Hey, that's it.
but yeah, I saw it with my own eyes. But from what I saw that night to all that happened to him being in church the next day, I'm like, Dave, you're not gonna, and he looked back, he's like, it really is the guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just it's funny, man. As I said, like, one of my things my dad used to always say is that we're all nobody's perfect because we're all human.
right.
So it's so
No
yeah,
one perfect
it's
but
just
God. So
yeah. But so yeah, man, what are you planning? What are your plans now that you graduate? What are your next steps, or what do you think about doing, or what photography and that? Let's hit it all.
yeah, yeah, man. So I was stressed out this last spring because of
Okay.
how much I just said yes. So I know even with you, like you understand like the importance of decompressing, and if
You
you
have
haven't
to.
already, you have to. Like it's important because you're gonna run yourself dry.
Yeah.
So I had like 82 bookings from March to the end of
Holy
May.
smokes.
So it's a great number.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Great number, great money. But like my mind, my mentals was like, it was like I could not rest. Like I was going to sleep at like 6 o'clock every day, waking up at 9, just like doing it. And you can't do that. You
No,
can't
you
live.
can't. You can't.
So I had to, have a candid business moment where I was like, okay, I'm taking a break on photography.
Yeah.
I told everybody, just made a post, whatever. I think you saw it or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to close down business at least till I can actually figure myself out as
Yeah.
an owner, figure out how to like have things more self-sufficient because like when you get to levels like, Brandon Rush,
Yeah.
you got to be able to manage yourself. Like
Yeah.
you got to be able to manage yourself, your time, your mentals, your money, your everything, like
Everything.
relationships. Like if you don't have these systems in place now, like you're not gonna be able to get to the next point. You're
Yeah.
gonna, like I said, be mentally spent. So right now I'm taking my break from photography.
Good.
And even with that, like I said this summer, I just want to sit down. Like I just want
Yeah,
to sit
man.
down, bro. So I'm sitting down and I still like have been looking at jobs, but I don't really want to work until the end of I say the summer.
Then
Um,
don't. Then
yeah.
don't.
Hey, I'm trying my best, but like, whatever God, I'm still in my prayer trying to figure out like what's next for me because I don't want to do anything that's outside of his will at the same
Yeah.
time. So
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get like I said, my major is business finance, but I want to get like a managerial role where I can, supervise and help in that sense, or see just what I can do with photography as a side. 'Cause I still want benefits. I want a big family. Like I can't just have all this stuff and not have my benefits. So
Yeah.
that's looking for now. So
Absolutely. Well, if I can give you any advice from the outside, this is just me because I'm not married yet. The reason I'm not married is because I know with my business, I'm all over the world with work,
right.
and I know that I'm not ready for a family because with my career it's not like the normal track.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
You always
But
will.
yeah, exactly. So, but if you're ready, you're still young, man. Let me tell you this: if anything, you're still young. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things, you got plenty of time, you have an eye for the lens. One, take that break because burnout is for real. Like I've
Yeah.
just been times where I'm like, hey, like look, I'm being run ragged and I just can't do it. I knew my body can was like,
Yeah.
and when you get those warning signs from your body, they're like, hey, I can't keep going. And even as young as you are, like I could go even for a long time, I could still go, but it's just like if you don't, you will get burned out, and
Right.
then you're good to nobody.
Right. That's the biggest thing. Like you won't be able to produce at the level you know you can. So that's an
Yeah,
even bigger burnout, like knowing you can't do what you can do. So,
absolutely.
so yeah.
But yeah, so I was saying before if I said any advice I could give you, man, and then you plan on your goals to stay in South Carolina, you're trying to switch out of it.
I don't know, man. I don't really know. Like, my family, like everybody is
Is
here.
here. Yeah,
That's like a big factor, of course, the church too. So it's just like trying to be like actually in line with what God has for you. That's like
yeah,
where I'm at right now. Cause like I said, I don't ever want to be out of his will when I'm doing anything. And
yeah,
like I said, where we come from, where a lot
yeah.
of
I
people
do.
like more so encouraged for you to stay home and you don't have to go far. But God is always he's everywhere. So
Absolutely. You
that's
might
like,
be talking to the wrong person today.
hey,
I agree with everything you're saying, but the reason why I think that God sends you, and when God gave me my calling, because I believe we're all called.
right.
My calling was God told me to go to California. I knew that I wanted to go to New York, which is where now I'll do both. But I knew that was my calling, my time. I'm always listening to my faith for
Right.
sure. So yes, your family is doing that, but you're moving to and I love your family. You're also going into a point where you're a man now. You got to make decisions for yourself. And I remember my dad. My dad grew up in South Carolina. I'm from Virginia originally, but I spent all my summers down here. I spent all my spring breaks, and I went to college down here.
Right.
Which is, I didn't even know I was getting the University of South Carolina. It was one of two choices I had, but God meant for me to go down there. I remember saying, God, if you mean for me to be in South Carolina, that's where I'm going to go. Which
Yes,
ended up
sir.
being the best blessing because all my best friends from around the world I met from here, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But when my dad at the time, I can only imagine him because he ended up getting a job in Delaware, and everything he knew, every person he loved, and he's from Denmark. You've been down to Denmark, I think.
Oh yeah.
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 So he was from Denmark and he had to go to Delaware where he didn't know anybody. And I always thought for me, I always loved that my dad did that. I always thought that how much courage that would have taken for him to go to a place, and this is before cell phones and all that kind of stuff. So where he went to and he made a name for himself. He always where God sent him. So it was Delaware and then it was Virginia. Same thing with my grandfather. My grandfather was from Alabama.
Came to South Carolina.
Alabama, he went up to South Carolina, and then I think it was Bishop Washington told him to go to Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
And he picked up his whole entire family and went to Denmark. So sometimes God calls you either through people or whatever you're calling, you might feel it to go to a certain place outside of South Carolina where you can do the most good.
Yeah. That's
So,
good.
so yeah, man. I'm here for encouragement if you need it,
Oh
is what I'm
yeah.
going to
Oh,
say.
I know it always, man. I always know that, man.
Yeah. And have you ever thought about living outside South Carolina, even for a summer or even for going abroad or anything like that?
I have, man. I have, man. A lot of things we can't say on cam, but
Okay. All right. That's fine. You can talk to me
but
about it.
yeah, yeah,
You can talk
yeah.
to me outside about it.
But yeah, I always thought about just going out because I always just wanted to see how it was gonna be like just like live out of South Carolina and see where I could be the most effective at. And I did want to study abroad and do all those things, just things never lined up or whatever.
Yeah.
But I could see myself moving. It just would have to be like, like
For
I
the
said,
right
it just
reason.
had to be the right place, right time. So
That's
that's the biggest thing. That's the
oh,
biggest.
well, Austin, something tells me that you have a fire in you, and if that happens in your future, I wouldn't be down. I see you have San Francisco in the background.
Oh yeah, man. It was the first thing that came up. I said, I didn't get to the office. So I was like, let me just go ahead and throw the background up. But I did just go to San Francisco last year. So
Okay, did you like it? I've actually never been to San Francisco.
really, in your
Yeah,
California, you never been to San Francisco?
I've never been to. I've the girls I've dated all been from NorCal because they're a lot like East Coasters, but
Okay,
they are from San Francisco. All there, I've never been. I've only been to San Jose where Stanford is.
really?
Yeah.
So how far away is that?
So how far is Stanford? How far is San Francisco from LA?
You said I thought you said San Jose.
Yeah, I went to San Jose, so it's an hour and a half flight, but the drive is actually like 9.5 hours.
Golly.
San Francisco is
It's at
9 hours
Nevada.
from LA too.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, you would think California is basically the whole
yeah,
East
it
Coast,
is. It's
man.
long. It's real long. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, and the
Uh,
traffic there is crazy.
yeah,
So,
bro, you're telling me it's nightmare. I know that when I first was going out to LA, I didn't know where LA was, so I looked on the map. I'm like, what is it? Can't think of the word, but what is it like on the east? Well, basically, where is it at from the East Coast to the West? It's where Atlanta, LA was where Atlanta would be at.
okay, yeah. Oh
So
yeah,
that kind of breaks it down.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man, it's as I said, like if one thing, if I could go back, one thing I regret is not going abroad. Like if I could have studied abroad, I would have
Yeah.
done that. But I didn't go because I was having so much fun in college that I didn't want to miss out. But in retrospect, I was like, man, I should either study in the United Kingdom or I should study in Spain.
Wow, I just had a friend who I literally just talked to yesterday. She
Yeah.
went to Leeds, UK.
Oh
So
wow, really?
yeah, she loves it, and it's just like I really wanted to study abroad, and I was like, okay. Another thing that happened in Canon moment, I wanted to go to grad school,
Okay.
and I was like counting on grad school because the money looked good coming out, and I didn't get accepted,
You
which is
didn't?
didn't get accepted. All
Yeah.
good, all fine, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
God is, going to order my steps. But one thing
Amen.
that they had a abroad, and I was like really counting on that. I was like, okay, if I get there, you go there for like a week, you know what I'm saying? I get to have
Oh,
like
nice.
small feel of it, but didn't happen. So I was like, I can always go abroad, That's
Yeah.
but I really wish I could study abroad, just had that feel. But
Well, you're in if you're in business, you get an MFA abroad. They have that program, or excuse me, MBA, excuse me, MBA.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I said, for me, now I would say I'm stubborn in this. I told myself, and Loki, I shouldn't have probably told God, but I said if I didn't get in this time, not worried about going anymore.
T-
So
Time out,
go
Austin. God had you mentioned that to me for a reason.
ahead.
But go ahead. No, you tell me. Then I got you. I got you with something
Well,
coming back
like
to
I
that.
said, like for me, and people, I've talked to so many people, and they've told me like so many different steps, and it's usually like pretty much all centered around the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm a family person. Like I love family. Like I love my family real down bad.
Yeah.
So in my mind, like I want to have 5 kids. I want
Yeah.
5 kids, and I don't see myself stopping working, anytime soon to go
Yeah.
back to school because like I know how I want my family to be. Like I want to be able to run around, play around with my kids.
Yeah.
18. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to play basketball with them. So that's why I was like, if I don't get in now, where I can do it consecutively, where I don't have to start things up. And like you said, I'm young. I know I'm young.
Yeah.
I know it. I know,
But,
but
but I know the thinking that you have because I had that thinking too.
yeah. So
Uh, well,
that's
I'm
just
gonna
where
hit
I
you with a
was.
couple things here, Austin. I'm
Go ahead,
glad you
man.
called.
Go ahead.
Anytime you're gonna go, you just let me know. I don't want to hold you up,
No,
but
you good. You good.
I'm gonna. If God put me here for anything, it's a mentor, I guess.
Mhm.
One, you can have kids at any time,
That is true.
right? You're 22. I can still, man, I can run laps around kids right now.
I
I'm
know.
every like to all my best friends who have kids. I
Uh-huh.
am like that favorite uncle, and like
Yeah.
family's not always blood relatives. As anyone that loves you unconditionally. I have
Yeah.
like one nephew by blood, but I have like 11 altogether through my best
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
And I like play, dude. I play with them the parents are happy when I come around.
Because you can do more than they can.
Yeah, they're not burnt out and all that. And like you at 22, you still don't know who you are completely at 22. Now, when you get to your 30s, that there's more of a time there. But I'm saying take that time to do that. There was two things. Then I had to get about the stubborn part about giving up because that sounds like honestly to me that's giving up. And I'm
Okay.
not saying that you're giving up,
Oh, listen, I
but
receive. I
yeah,
receive.
but it's to me is this. So in my business, I chose the acting business because I loved how hard it was. Like anytime I play video games, which I'm sure you play video games, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
always would go like veteran mode or hard
Oh
because
yeah.
I wanted to see if I could prove to myself that I had it within me to beat that.
I'm just like
So
that.
with auditions and stuff like that, man, when I'm going out for these TV shows, I don't always book them on the first time. There's been times where I literally, perfect story. If I don't book something on the first time, I'm stubborn to the point where I'm like, I don't care how many times it takes. I'm gonna book this before it's over. Like if the show doesn't cancel, I'm gonna book it. With Blue Bloods, I flew to New York City, either from Los Angeles or from South Carolina or from Virginia. I flew from all these places. I flew 9 times to audition for the. Oh shit! Oh sorry, I cussed. Whoops, Dominic Nindelli. Sorry.
You're good, man. You good.
Ooh. Austin, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
You good, man. You
Yeah,
good.
a friend called. But what I was saying real quick was, I'll make sure this thing's still recording. Was the fact that I flew to keep going back and auditioning for the show. But on my last time, on my ninth time, I'm like, forget it. I don't care what happens. I am not flying here again to audition for the show. And I walked in mad to audition for Blue Bloods, and I was mad, just frustrated. I'm just like, I don't care. I let it all go. Went and auditioned, and when I finished that audition, they said, if you aren't a New York cop, and they all laughed and were like, they all thought I was a perfect cop for this role. And I felt like that scene, and I'm not sure if you watch The Boys, but I felt like Homelander whenever he does something bad and he realizes that everybody likes him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I ended up booking that show, and that show turned into a 5-year role on me on that TV show Blue Bloods.
Jeez.
So therefore, even with Ozark, when I did Ozark, it took 2 times for me to book that. But there's been all kinds of shows that I've had to audition for between more than one time, to the point where you can't let it, just because you didn't get in that one time, brother, just that one time, you can't let that define the rest of your, you can't let that be, oh, hey, I didn't get in this first time. Like, one time, Austin, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I receive it. I would say that's like the stubborn part of me that I'm trying to go ahead and remove that blockage. But yeah, I don't know. That was encouragement, though. That definitely was some encouragement to see that. There are some other people who have tried to get into things over and over again, and finally that next time, whenever God has it, if it's for you,
Yeah,
it's gonna open up for you.
absolutely. And then let's take your dad, for instance. Your dad's a lawyer.
Yeah.
I love your dad. I grew up with your dad too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if he got into law school. He might have got into law school the first time. I don't know, but you probably know better than I do.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay. And then did he pass his bar on the first time too?
I'm pretty sure he did.
All right. Well, look, your dad's the exception to the rule. Let me not use
he's
your
an
dad.
exception. His intellect is.
Yeah. But there are going to come times in life, all things in lifetime, where you're not going to get it on the first try. But I'm a firm believer. I played sports growing up too, my whole entire lifetime, where you don't always beat that team that I played for Catholic school basketball. My dad was a coach. We lost this one team that was older than us twice, but the championship game, it was us against them, and we beat the stew out of them. It's not giving up mentality. It's that, hey, you might not win it this time, but you got to keep at it, because that's going to be hard times going to come in life. It's a transition for life, Austin. There's going to be things in your lifetime that are going to hit you where it's not going to go your way, but you got to find out within yourself, which I already know you have it within yourself. I'm just rehyping you up.
Yeah, I'm receiving it.
Yeah, the fact that you'll be able to get through it. It's there for you. But also, God does have divine timing, which I believe in that. So God doesn't mean for you to have it right now. It's sometimes that delayed blessing down the road. So the reason you weren't supposed to be there now is because God either saw something in your life right where it would be not good for you right now, or the time for you to maybe meet your future wife is down the road.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. So you can't be in the wrong place.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. So just, you got this.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. And like I said, I can already see, like, with how you are right now, you are a great person. Your zeal is extraordinary. Like,
thank you,
you
brother.
have a good aura about you, man. And a lot of people see that. A lot of people see that you got a good charisma about you, and you're just trying to go places that a lot of people couldn't go. So that's God's hand on your life. So
absolutely,
I appreciate you, man. You're doing things, and I'm always looking, man. I promise you. Like, anytime I see you on my TV, pause, take a picture. It's crazy, man. Like, it's so inspirational, man. You're doing good.
Absolutely. And I'm here to help with anything, Austin. If you ever need my help with something, just let me know. The guests that we have on here, I'm not sure if you've been able to pay attention to them, but literally the guests are from all walks of different life. So I have people from every position. The reason I have that is so people can either get tips from them or a lot of tips, basically, about how they went and did something. I have one of our friends who's a big tech guy. He's been hired by 3 of the biggest companies of all time. Really? Netflix, Amazon, and then Google. He failed his Google interview, but he talks about that process of even how to book a job with the interviewing process. So his name's Ed Maddox. I'll send that one to you. But and then how's your family doing, man?
They're all doing good. Like I said, Preston just graduated high school.
Okay.
My younger brother.
Yeah.
My mom's birthday is on Monday. She turns 50.
Oh, man, tell her I said happy birthday.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, time's flying, man. Time's flying. Cameron, he's, has his job and everything.
Oh, where's Cameron? I haven't seen Cameron in years.
Cameron, every time you come to Columbia, like, he's in Sumter. So my dad, they're in, there's something they're going on. So he's home with me. He's just working and saving his coins, doing that. And
Yeah.
Jonathan's going to high school, so
Okay.
everybody's like getting that age where it's like, it's time to do something. So
Yeah.
everybody's doing good though, man. Everybody's doing good.
Okay, well, give him my best. I love Ron, man. Ron's always been a brother to me.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Always
sure.
has since we done went on all kinds of trips together with my grandparents, and then I was
That's
always
the
at
man.
Sister Scott's house, which even had the pool house too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's the old house that we used to stay at. So that's why I said like I always remember Brandon. Never gonna forget the love, man. Never gonna forget that. So
absolutely. Well, Austin, I'm here, man. You can always come back on if there's anything you want to talk about, or anything like that, man.
yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you having you on here today. I'll make sure you said everything that you anything you want to touch on, or
I guess not, man. Like I said, I'm always watching you.
yeah.
I was watching one of your podcasts the other day where you talk about how you give respect to, the janitors to the CEO.
Oh yeah,
Like,
so
you know
important.
what I'm saying? Like it's just good to have like that authentic,
Yeah.
courage. I'm just giving kudos to you, give you your flowers, man. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Appreciate you, brother. Well, same to you, man. As I said, congratulations on graduating from University of South Carolina.
Sir,
I'm
yes,
proud of
sir.
that because you're alumni just
Alumni.
like I am.
Yes, sir. Alumni.
And then I definitely I do a lot of stuff at the school too. I guest speak at the school a lot at the journalism school.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm always here, man. You can always hit me up anytime. And then I'm proud of you too. Keep going. I know I'll be seeing that you're abroad at some point. I'm gonna get that call. You'll be,
You
I
see
did it,
it. You
man.
see it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got
Absolutely.
you.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
Austin. Well, have a blessed day, man. Give your family my best, and
Yes, sir.
love you, bro. Your family, man.
Yes, sir. Always. Love you too, man. Be
All
safe.
right. Peace,
Yes, sir.
Austin.
Yes, sir.